What's the difference between a physiotherapist, an osteopath and a chiropractor? As a physiotherapist myself and the founder-owner of Physiotherapy London, I'm constantly being asked this question. An honest answer, I have no idea. Personally, I'd love to see the day when therapists are schooled in all three disciplines, as we all treat the same kind of injuries, but just in slightly different ways. And for all three professions to still exist, presumably each are proving successful in getting patients better. Therefore, just imagine if we worked together and shared our knowledge and understanding, how much better that might be for patients. However, until that day, I completely appreciate the dilemma you as a patient face when you are struck down by injury and are forced to choose who to consult. As a physiotherapist myself, I am clearly biased, and all I can do is share my knowledge and understanding and hopefully provide you with the useful questions to ask in order to help you make an informed choice. The one big difference between physiotherapists as opposed to osteopaths and chiropractors is that once a physiotherapist has obtained their physiotherapy degree and therefore qualified as a chartered physiotherapist, more than 90% will then go on to do rotations within the NHS in the same way that doctors do, spending several months working in each of the different departments such as orthopaedics, outpatients, paediatrics, respiratory and so on. Because a physiotherapist training is therefore centred around their eventual role within the NHS, not one single lecture within the physiotherapy degree is business related. Whilst a waiting list might be appealing in the private sector, it is obviously the very opposite in the public sector. So physiotherapists are trained not to promote practitioner reliance by suggesting patients return for regular checkups or maintenance, but are instead trained to get patients better as quickly as possible and, importantly, help them understand what may have caused the problem in the first place so that they can hopefully prevent it recurring, or if it does recur, provide them with ways in which they might be able to self-treat in future. Most of those physiotherapists who therefore eventually leave the NHS for private practice hopefully continue with this ethos. Plus, obviously, most physiotherapists will have had at least 5 years postgraduate experience within the NHS prior to leaving for the private sector, whilst the majority of osteopaths and chiropractors are obviously forced to go straight into private practice on completing their degree. Personally though, I don't believe one profession is necessarily superior to another. I do, however, believe that some practitioners are superior to others. As with every profession, whether it's accountants, solicitors, graphic designers, there are the very good, the very bad, and the somewhere in between. Unfortunately, what therefore frequently happens is that a patient goes to see an unusually inept osteopath, for instance, who makes the symptoms worse rather than better. And from that one experience presumes osteopathy doesn't work, never again consulting an osteopath, but instead going to see a physio or a chiropractor, and vice versa. The key therefore is not necessarily in choosing the correct profession, but in choosing the correct professional. So the question therefore is how? Well, check how many years qualified they are. A degree course can only teach you so much. Hands-on experience is vital. Also, look at their qualifications, which you can often determine from the initials after their name. Don't, though, just go with the number of initials after someone's name, as complete charlatans invariably have dozens. Look for ones which actually mean something. You can obviously look them up on Google, but I will at some point try to post a list on our website to help guide you. But in the meantime, for instance, BSc, MSc means Bachelor of Science and Master of Science respectively. MCSP means Member of the Chartered Society of Physiotherapy. MACPSM means Member of the Association of Chartered Physiotherapists in Sports Medicine, and ACPWH means Member of the Association of Chartered Physiotherapists in Women's Health, and so on. Each of these bodies or associations will invariably have certain additional educational requirements for membership. Therefore, these offer useful insights into professionals' postgraduate experience and training. If they have a biography, you could also look to see if they have worked for any professional sports teams. Although sadly many professional sports teams still select based on in-house nepotism, this is fortunately starting to change as teams wake up to the importance of appointing those with the ability to keep their players on the pitch, rather than on their ability to remain silent as the coach insists a player receive a short-term injection rather than long-term rehab. Perhaps also look for testimonials. Although people often question the validity of these, I don't believe any professional who is a member of a chartered body would ever deceive in any way. But then perhaps I'm naive in this. At Physiotherapy London, we keep hard copies of all the satisfaction surveys completed and returned to us over the last 10 years, in case anyone should ever question the validity of our testimonials and results. So I hope this has helped. Your health is too important to leave to chance. Don't choose a clinic based simply on cost or location. Try to choose it based on whether or not that clinic or that individual can get you better, plus how quickly and how permanently. There are currently 2,000 chiropractors, 3,600 osteopaths and 4,000 physiotherapists working in private practice in the UK today. So there are a vast number to choose from. At Physiotherapy London, I've tried to make this decision for patients easier by insisting on 5 things. 1, we only ever employ the most senior physiotherapists who have either held very senior positions within the NHS prior to moving into private practice, worked for a professional sports team, and or have qualifications over and above the standard Bachelor of Science degree in physiotherapy. Number 2, we allow them to specialise in just one area of the body, as specialisation leads to repetition and practice makes perfect. Number 3, that we aim to get patients better in as few treatments as possible. The fact that some practices bonus their therapists based on numbers of appointments is a total anathema to me. Number 4, that every patient is sent a satisfaction survey on discharge and we post the results of these on our website. And finally, number 5, that we continue to strive to become a centre of excellence where London's physio elite will therefore always choose to treat. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video has been of help.